Why eating alone in public in Europe feels awkward? There's something very interesting in Europe that I noticed is that even though the society doesn't expect you to get married and have kids by the age of 30, but it's not that favorable for people to eat alone in public. However, it's quite contrary in Chinese society. Chinese society would give you lots of pressure if you don't get married and have kids by the age of 30. But it's so common and normal to eat alone in public, in restaurants. When I was in China, I enjoy going to restaurants and cafes and shoppings all by myself. And lots of restaurants will provide one-person meal. However, if you eat alone in Europe, people will probably assume that you don't have any friends. Now, after living in Europe for 4 years, I think I kind of know the reason. Firstly, is the concept of restaurant is totally different. In Europe, eating alone isn't only about filling your stomach, it's about connection. That you go out with your friends, you are having a date. So if you eat alone in restaurant, people will assume that you don't have any friends, you don't want to have any connection or interaction. While in China, restaurants are very functional. It's more about efficiency and convenience. Eating alone only means that you are eating alone. It's not about if you are lonely or not. Secondly, it's about the money, the solo economy. There are so many people being single in China, so of course the market would adapt to their demands. There are even restaurants you can eat hot pot by yourself. Also in China, you can have delivery, lots of home services at very cheap prices, which means that person being single can also live very good life. But I feel in Europe, if you really want to live a better life, the society is designed for family. So even though the society doesn't tell you, but they would expect you to have partner and have kids so that you can pay less taxes, so that it will be easier for you to live. For example, in this house, if it's in China, I can buy lots of renovation, lots of decoration or maintenance services by myself at very good price. But in Europe, those services are too expensive. So we all have to do it by ourselves, which means that if you have two persons, it will be easier. Thirdly, it's about the psychology twist, macro pressure and micro freedom. Yes, in China, the social pressure is that you need to get married by the age of 30. But if you live in big cities, nobody knows about you, nobody cares about you. While in Europe, even though you don't have this kind of social pressure, but people value community and interaction and connection a lot. What do you think about this?